Hello, welcome back to Math Time with Professor Prime, and I'm your host as always, Professor Prime. So let's talk about math and golf. We'll talk about the basics of golf. We'll talk about how math is involved, and we'll kind of go from there. And along the way, please feel free to add to the conversation. I welcome it. So here we go. When it comes to golf, the basic premise is that you are taking a club and hitting a ball into a hole. You're doing this with a series of holes with various clubs, depending on the situation, and you're trying to do so over a course with the fewest amount of strokes. Now, on that basic level, you could already start to see the math, right? Sorry, you could already start to see the math, right? um, so with golf, it's a game. Scoring's involved, and just on that base level, math is the consequence of that. But we can go further, can we not? So there's math in, hitting the ball. The force that you use, sure, the speed that you're hitting it at, um, the motion, right? The position, the angles that you're hitting this ball at, right? Then there's also math in the ball itself, in the club as well, what they're composed of, their weights, any rules and regulations that might come with those things, and what type of clubs that you'll use along the way, the different situations that come up, right? Because you're playing over different terrains, and these clubs are aimed to do different things. And, so they might have, this shape or that shape, and there's math in that too. There's math in the shape of things. We live in a world full of shapes, full of shapes in motion, and there's math at every conceivable level. A lot of geometry, a lot of calculus, a lot of well, everything. And then there's math in the scoring, there's math in the clubs, the balls, what they're composed of, their shapes, the force and speed, angles, positions, what you're hitting, everything, and what's happening is traverse the terrains. And math in the terrains themselves, or in the course, its shape, what it's supposed to do, how it's maintained. There's math in all of it, and all of this takes money, right? And there's math in that too. Math in the money for the equipment, for managing the course, also sponsorships, advertisement, marketing, you name it, right? There's math across the board at every level. And I think that's interesting. I don't think any of that gets talked about enough. But what I like about sports is like there's a lot of ways to see math at play, if not just because of, sports being something that, the idea is to like win and gain points and stop other people from gaining points, right? Just on that base level, you can see the math, but also there's a lot of shapes, a lot of motions, and it's like that helps open up some things as well as stats, right? And these things may sound basic to some, but hey, it is what it is. It's math. And there's a lot of strategy that will go into playing different rounds of golf. And it's like, well, also, how many holes do you have in a course, right? Is it nine? Is it 18? And you gotta also consider your endurance and your stamina as you play, and keeping up your equipment and all that good stuff. Um, Now, with everything I said, right, math across the board, but you could always take it one step further, right? Because there's so many rules, so many different regulations, tournaments, and you can really see like math at every conceivable level. And this is something I want people to see more because, right, like everything that we've learned in school is an extension of things that we do. Math is just how the world operates, right? It's what the universe is doing. It's what you and I are doing. And sports can be a great way to show that. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool, and there's definitely more areas you can explore. I encourage that, and again, I also encourage adding to the conversation. I'll see you in the future. Professor Prime out.